Thank you very much. The purpose of this meeting is because we had a small computer problem that didn't allow us to do, for the folks at home, to do the statutory 24-hour notice. So thanks very much for your patience. I'm going to suspend the reading of the ground rules. However, all the ground rules are in place. Madam Clerk, please read the roll.
Supervisor Evans,
Here.
Councilwoman Cunningham,
Here.
Councilman Malone,
Present.
Councilman Perticone,
Here.
Councilman Weiner,
Here.
Attorney for the town.
Here.
For those at home, we had a great 911 ceremony. Thanks to our police for sponsoring that, and also our fire and first responders for participating. Very quickly, we have a Hispanic Heritage Month celebration coming up, September, this Saturday at between 1 and 4. On September 19th, we have a breaking bread ceremony from 6 to 8. That's where the Jewish community will be celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month, and we'll have more on that later. We, as a town, got recertified as a climate smart community designation by New York State, and we had several new businesses move into town. The Willow and the Child Advocacy Center both will be establishing offices in Skyview Mall to create a unique and needed advocacy center. Fifth Frame Brewing opened a new restaurant in Somerville, and the Irina Court received this first National Historic District, the Wimbledon area, Wimbledon neighborhood. Kids return back to school, and I want to remind everyone to drive carefully and watch your speed. And I want to give one shout out to our animal control officer, Scott Donahue. He's worked tirelessly and thanklessly sometimes for us in the Irina Court, helping to recover our lost and abandoned pets, and helping to identify those who abuse pets. It's an important job. I see him working every day, and I just wanted him to know that his service is noted and greatly appreciated. It's time for some department head updates. Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So it's pretty much court as usual. We are planning to apply for the JCAP grant, which is the reason for my appearance this evening. Judge Whitman DeVoe is on call this month. She's had quite the busy month. I believe she's been doing quite a bit of night and weekend work, and the other two judges are holding court as normal. We're also getting ready for DPW to upgrade our public bathrooms in the entryway, so we're really looking forward to seeing what they look like when the job is done.
Thank you very much. Mr. Director.
Thank you. Just moving along with IT and the cloud migration, getting to about 80% complete there. We have should be down to one department come this fall that'll still need to be done. Payroll system is slated to go live January 1st. And also financial system is live. Thanks for the hard work. The comptroller, specifically Diana Marsh, has done a fantastic job bringing that live through a lot of hard work. So we're moving along.
Thank you very much. Madam Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. For the Community Development August 2024 update, the Building Department, 655 building permits were issued year to date. More than $9 million in construction activity, including construction of 5 new single-family homes. Code Enforcement Office, there were 1,016 code enforcement complaints year to date. Staffing and other updates, the department is continuing to work with our partners at New York State relative to updating the town's LWRP. local waterfront revitalization program. We also working with Monroe County, Penfield, and Webster to update the Arundecoy Bay Harbor Management Plan. Certificate of occupancy has been issued to Ellen's Place, the Senior Living Complex, and Fifth Frame Brewing Company. We will be hosting an open house to discuss the short-term rentals in the town of Arundecoy on September 19th at 4 p.m. in the Broderick Room. The short-term rental survey was published approximately 2 weeks ago, has already garnered more than 500 responses, and has provided us with some great feedback. We look forward to discussing this on 9/19.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Mr. Foreman?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. DPW will be continuing with our summer programs as long as the weather behaves. We had some good weather going. Our paving program will be running throughout the month of September, maybe a week or two into October, depending on the weather. And our Parks Department will be busy pretty soon prepping our sports fields for fall programs. And we're going to continue, obviously, with our brush pickup and our tree maintenance.
Thank you very much. Madam Controller, we have a financial report.
Do you want a department update or just the financial report?
You're right. Department update.
Comptroller's office, we're busy this time of year. We're working on our CDBG year-end, as the year ended July 31st. We are also in budget season. We have been meeting with departments, discussing budgets. We are working towards presenting a tentative budget to the board on October 7th, which will be followed by 2 workshop meetings on October 9th and October 16th. Following the workshops, the preliminary budget is planned to be presented to the board for adoption on October 22nd, and the public hearing on the budget is scheduled for November 7th, with final adoption of the budget expected November 14th.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
In the clerk office, we're currently in the middle of tax season, which started on September 1st. We will continue to collect payments through October, mid-October, and we are looking to hire a new clerk 3 that we'll discuss later on.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. My report will be very brief this month. I've been in the process of ramping up and addressing issues as they arise. I will mention that there are 2 identified active litigation matters, and my suspicion is that you've heard about them over and over. One is the 690 Titus Avenue, and the other is the Freeman v. Fitzpatrick matter. They are both identified as active. However, from my reading, it seems like not much is happening right now, and I believe the 690 Titus Avenue matter may be withdrawn as an active matter and closed out, and the Freeman matter, I understand plaintiff's counsel is between counsel, so that one may remain dormant as well. And other than that, I don't have any other risk items to bring to the board, and that will conclude it.
Thank you very much. Madam Controller, your financial report.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. The August 31st financial results for the town. Total expenses are $29,261,000, or 65.2% of budget, which is lower than the 66.7% of the year that has elapsed. Total expenses break down as follows. Actual expenses, $27,230,000, and encumbrances, $2,031,000. The encumbrances are 4.5% of budget as departments continue to commit to services and supplies for the remainder of the year. General fund expenses are on par with budget at 66.9%, or $19,666,000. The split here is actual expenditures $18,705,000 and encumbered expenses $960,000. Incorporated within the general fund expenses are the purchase of the street lights, the purchase of police vehicles and equipment, and the contract for townwide street tree trimming. Jointly, the highway fund's expenses are greater than the percent of the year that has elapsed at 68%, or $4,228,000. These costs are traditionally driven by salt, gas, fuel, roadwork and paving services and materials such as oil and stoning and asphalt. Highway 1 is currently realizing sizable roadwork and paving expenditures as well as paving material encumbrances. Expenditures in the library fund are 60.1% of budget, or $1,719,000. Sewer fund expenses of $2,438,000 equate to 59.4% of budget. Expenses in the stormwater drainage total $364,000, or 38.7% of budget. Expenses excluding encumbrances for the town as well as the three major funds are less than the percent of the year that has elapsed. 66.7% of the year has elapsed, and the expenditures percentage exclusive of encumbrances for the town is 60.6%. The general fund is 63.6%. The sewer fund is at 52.3%, and the collective highway funds 56.2%. Total general fund revenue is $19,685,000, representing 74% of budget. Real estate taxes of $12,790,000 have been collected. Payments in lieu of taxes equal 117% of budget at $273,000. 5 months of sales tax of $2,744,000, or 41% of budget, have been received. Other major revenue items such as aid and incentives for municipalities, franchise cable TV revenue, and the remaining 3/4 of mortgage tax are not yet due. Regarding the entire town, $33,189,000, or 79.7% of revenue and appropriated fund balance have been received to date. At the end of August, the library has received $2,806,000, or 98.6% of its budgeted revenue. 84.3%, or $5,094,000, is in for the highway funds. Revenue received for the sewer is $3,847,000, 100% of budget. The stormwater drainage has recorded $947,000, or 100% of budget. This concludes the financial report for the month of August.
Thank you, Madam Controller. Any questions, corrections, or comments? Thank you. Madam Clerk, for our town board meeting, we have minutes to approve. We have August 12th, August 20th, and August 30th. Is that correct? No, for the next meeting. Did the board get a chance to read them? Any questions or comments on them? Any corrections? Okay. Seeing none, we have several items for review for our regular town board meeting. Madam Clerk, can you read the first item?
The first item would be a resolution approving a special use permit for 2255 East Ridge Road in the C Business District. That is a public hearing to be held at 7:35 p.m.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, sir. Thank you. This resolution is regarding the special use permit for the Kids Empire located at 2255 East Ridge Road. The special use permit is required pursuant to Chapter 235-28A4 for the use of a bowling alley, theaters, and public assemblage. The planning board discussed the application and offered a positive referral. The public hearing will be held at our meeting next week on the 17th.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, read the next item.
The second item would be a public hearing, resolution regarding State Environment Equality Review Act compliance in the matter of rezoning a portion of tax ID 107.06-1-32 from R1 Residential District to R2 Residential District.
Can I get an explanation?
Yes, sir. This is again, as discussed at the workshop meeting, this is a portion of the St. Ambrose property that is actually zoned R1 residential, and the 3 parcels to the south on Waldo Avenue that are zoned R2 residential. They want to re-subdivide the 3 lots, creating a conforming lot. Currently, it's pre-existing non-conforming as the existing structure protrudes over the lot line into the R1 residential district. So they would like to re-subdivide that to make it a conforming lot.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Our next item would be 2A for the public hearing, approving an application on the matter of rezoning a portion of tax ID 107-.06-1-32 from R1 Residential District to R2 Residential District.
We have an explanation?
Yes, sir, sorry, that was my mistake. I should have talked about the seeker first instead of the actual approval resolution. This is a proposed unlisted action with a negative declaration in regards to approving the rezoning.
Thank you. Any
Sorry.
questions or comments? Madam Clerk, read the next item.
Item number 1 would be authorizing the provisional appointment of an Office Clerk 3 in the Town Clerk's Department.
May I have an explanation?
We currently had a resignation in our department, so we're looking to fill that position with a candidate that we interviewed today, and we'd like to offer him the position.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 2, authorizing the permanent appointment of a cemetery operations specialist in the Department of Public Works.
May I have an explanation? Okay, seeing none, we have an opening for our cemetery operations specialist, and we're looking to fill that.
Excuse me, Mr. Supervisor, if I can just chime in.
Go ahead.
We have a provisional employee that's just being promoted to fill it, so it's going to a permanent position instead of just provisionary. That I believe the case is that they passed the civil service exam and are now making this a permanent position instead of provisional.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 3, calling for a public hearing on the matter of rezoning 2305 Portland Avenue from R6 District to C Business District.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, sir. This is in regards to the 2305 Portland Avenue. The applicant, Samuel Battaglia, with his architect, Krumsig Architecture, is coming forward to rezone this parcel in regards to moving his catering business from the East Ridge Road location to this location on Portland Avenue. It's just south of an existing parcel that's zoned C business. And this is the resolution for the calling, referring, and scheduling the public hearing.
Any questions or comments?
How does this fit in with the master plan?
I would have to double check that, Peter.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 4, authorizing 2024 tax levies.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, thank you. This is our annual resolution in regards to the tax levy that with all the property charges for the past year.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 5, allocating American Rescue Plan Act funding for vehicles in the Community Development Department.
May I have an explanation?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Director Lang requested an amount of $86,000 of ARPA funds to purchase vehicles for his department as his vehicles are aging, and since COVID, they had been putting more miles on the vehicles. So this resolution would authorize the use of an amount not to exceed $86,000 for vehicles for community development.
Any questions or comments?
How many cars do we have there now? Anybody know?
3.
3 cars. What are you going to do with them?
Surplus sale if we can't use them, and the,
Okay, you're going to keep them though.
we try to keep them if we can.
I just want to know. Okay,
Yeah.
you're going to keep them within the. Okay, so you're going to get 3 new cars.
Yes, he's looking for trucks because of fires and where they have to go. He thinks that trucks would be better than the,
Oh, so these are going to be pickup trucks?
yes.
Pickups. Okay. Two. I'm sorry. Two pickups. Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna get 3 cars for that kind of money. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 6, authorizing American Rescue Plan Act funding to the Child Advocacy Center of Greater Rochester.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor. So we, as the supervisor announced at the beginning of this, we are very excited to announce that the Child Advocacy Center of Greater Rochester, formerly known as Bavona, is opening a satellite and headquarters office at the Skyview Mall. Once they are fully up and operational, we would like to allocate $100,000 to them for services. The Child Advocacy Center works with children that are facing abuse or might be living in a home that has abusive family members, and it also provides preventative measures as well. And I can also just kind of speak to the larger picture that they, over at Skyview, are going to be opening a family justice center that will be a one-stop shop for folks that are kind of going through either violence themselves or have family members that they'll be able to access a whole host of services, including the Child Advocacy Center, Willow Domestic Violence Center, which is the next resolution on the agenda, along with housing support, career services, police, social workers, etc. So we're very excited to have them. And these 2 resolutions, the one we're currently on and the next one, will kind of go towards the services for the community.
Any questions or comments? So since we already covered the next one, what's the allocation for Willow?
Yep, it'll also be $100,000, and again, this is for services, so it will not cover the relocation cost. They are still very much in the renovating and building phase, getting things up and running here. So we are hoping to sign the contract with them this year, and then once they are operational in the town is when the funds will go through to help with the services. So it'll be $100,000 again.
Any questions or comments?
Just more general, Diana, as far as the ARPA funds, what does this bring us down to, please?
With these 3 resolutions, this will bring us down to about $600,000 unallocated roughly.
And we have until when to December 31st to allocate them?
December 31st this year to allocate, and
Right.
December 31st, 2026 to expend.
That's right.
So we want to get these funds to the people as much as possible to help out with community services. So again, board, if you have a organization that's deserving a little help, who's had experience from COVID, that needs some recovery funds, please let us know. All right, Madam Clerk, next item.
Just to reiterate, item number 7 was for the ARPA funds for Willow Domestic. Item number 8 is a walk-in that we got. It's approving the final order establishing the Bay Shore Boulevard sewer.
We have an explanation.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This resolution will order the establishment of the Bay Shore Boulevard Sewer District. The sewer district was constructed a few years back utilizing ready funds for much of the project. There was a 5% match to the town. At that time, the residents agreed that they would pay that match through assessment on the taxes. This resolution will establish that district so we can tax or assess those, those construction costs to the residents. There are 28 residents in the district.
Any questions or comments? Seeing,
28 residents, 5%? What's the tax, what are we taxing them, the 28 residents, 5?
We have the amount of the match, which was the 5%.
5%, okay.
And it will be allocated over 10 years.
Oh, 10 years, that's what I was gonna just say, that was my next, okay, 10 years allocated, okay, thank you.
any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 9, authorizing the purchase of one 2024 or newer model year stump grinder to be used by the Department of Public Works.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This authorization will allow us to purchase a new stump grinder, which the current one we have now is roughly 10-plus years old. It's getting to the point now where it's getting expensive, not only trying to find parts like anything else, it's also the maintenance cost alone. So we're looking to purchase a new one, which will be more efficient. It also is more portable, as the new one will be trailer-based and not a tow-behind. So not only will it be easier to get into the right-of-way to get to a stump, it also makes it safer for the operator.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 10, approving the special event license for the Point Pleasant Firemen's Association Sportsman's Raffle, number 31.
May I have an explanation?
This is an annual event held by the Point Pleasant Firemen's Association. All the insurance has been approved. We have approvals from all the departments, so we're just asking that the license be approved for this event.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Item number 11, authorizing grant application for the Justice Court Assistance Program.
May I have an explanation?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. So as most of you know, every year the Office of Court Administration offers the town and justice courts, or the town justice courts, the opportunity to apply for the Justice Court Assistance Program grant. The maximum amount of the grant is $30,000. And the application is due October 11th. We're requesting permission from the board to actually apply for this grant.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
That is the last item.
Okay. This concludes our workshop meeting on August 12th, 2024. Our next regular town board meeting is scheduled for September 17th, 2024 at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting is adjourned.